So you need to pursue a good quality work. If you say that I want to do this quality work, train yourself to go to that level. Don't come up and say that, oh, because it's a small project or it's a Christian project or it is an NGO project or it is this project. No, you think whatever you're doing, do it with quality.
Welcome to New Life AG podcast. We've started a new series last week. It's called Excel series. And what we're going to focus on is excelling wherever God has placed us in your field. And during the series, we are having some special people from among us who've excelled where God has placed them. And today we have Brother Aneesh Daniel.
Thank you, brother.
So nice to have you here. You wear several hats, writer, you're a director, you're a poet.
Yes.
And
yes.
You've been in the film and TV industry for the last, how many years?
32 years.
32 years.
Yeah.
You worked with the likes of Shyam Benegal, Meera Nair, Jijo,
Yes.
Kavita Chowdhury, many prominent people. And one of your latest, and I would call it a masterpiece, is Least of These. What a movie. If you haven't watched it yet, that is something you have to watch. It's a movie based on the life of Graham Staines, real life story, and powerful movie, great work. I don't think there are many people who don't know you, especially from our church.
Yeah.
But not everyone knows your story, how you began the journey. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm from a very small town from Chhattisgarh called Dalli Rajara, which is basically an iron ore mines and under Bhilai steel plant.
All right, yeah.
So I grew up there. My mother was a teacher there, my dad working in the iron ore mines. And in 1988, when my mother got ordained as one of the first woman priest on behalf of Church of North India, at around 1988, when she got ordained, I told her that I want to get into film industry, And it was definitely shocking for the entire family that the pastor's son is wanting to go to, a film industry. And 30 years back, So that was one challenge, but thankfully my mother agreed, though my dad was not very keen. But my mother agreed, saying that, let him give him a try.
Okay.
That way. Okay. So that's how my journey started. Mm-hmm. And what I am today, I really thank God for giving me parents who have really given me a strong foundation, especially my mother, because why she agreed for me to venture into that film world only because she realized that the teachings which she has given me is strong enough for me to face the challenges when I'm entering into the, film world or even into this big world, that way. Yeah.
The foundations will lead you.
And that's where I say that it is so essential for you to give foundations to your kids in a very early ages, that you don't tell them when they are already teen or getting into their 18s and 19s. No, you have to actually start them from the very beginning.
True.
That helps a lot when they are already in 18 and 19, when they are ready to venture into this world. It is so essential for you to make them strong with their foundations.
That's nice. So once your parents released you, especially your mom blessed you and released you, as a young man, I'm sure you have this big dream, to make it in the film industry, to make it big. Yeah. And I'm sure it was not easy. I mean, you faced challenges. Give us a little insight on that little phase of the beginning, the young Aneesh.
Yes.
Give us.
The most important challenge is to decide between right and wrong. Because nowadays, and it was not even now, it was earlier also, that anything wrong is, being said that it is right. With the system, with the work which you are doing, with your honesty level. There are different ways of saying it, that dishonesty is right.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
so that is one challenge, we all go through, and even today, that when you have a peer pressure, when you have everyone saying that, no, yeah, this is right, don't worry, nobody is looking at you. Even when I was driving once on my motorbike, riding on my motorbike in Mumbai at 3 a.m., I stopped at the signal, and a gentleman sitting behind me was saying, "This is 3 a.m. Nobody is going to look at you whether you're going to cross a signal or not.
True.
Cross that red light or not." And I said, "No, that is not right. You have to do things in the right way."
Correct.
And that is one very interesting compliment I got from one of my crew member is मेहनत और ईमानदारी इंसान को डैनियल बना देती है. So it's a very interesting thing that they saw me as one honest guy and hardworking guy, and then they at one point stopped telling me anything to do which is not right.
Yeah.
So that is where you have to make yourself strong enough, and that is when your teaching comes from your parents, who have, and my mother never made me sit and said, do this is right. No, she did it with her own way of handling things.
True.
There were times when this joke was or rather this humor part of is that the father used to tell the son that, go tell them I am not at home, So this is what happened once with my dad, that there was gentleman A was supposed to come home and gentleman B was supposed to come an hour late. So my father thought it is gentleman A who came, and he said, go tell him I am not there at home. So I went and I said, Dad is not there at home. And I was very young, maybe 10, 12, 13. And he asked me who came, and I said so and so came. He said, oh, I was supposed to meet gentleman B who came ahead of gentleman A, and he was supposed to carry a very important package for him from my hometown to Nagpur.
Yeah.
And he missed out that. That was one lesson
You
I learned that way. And of course, my dad told me that he was very sorry for making me do something like this.
Yeah.
But then the fact is, even from our very childhood, from our very young age,
That's what
we have to do the kids, teach them in the right manners, to do things. This is the way we have to do it right. And as you said, another point which in my journey in Mumbai, in fact, there were two of the tracks were happening with me. One was my spiritual track, and then the other was my film track. So Lord really, blessed me with right people, right directors, right team. And people have asked me, have you faced any challenges? I said, I never faced any challenge, because the reason behind that is I used to pray every day. That is one teaching which I received from my parents, especially from my mother, and start my day with prayer. So whenever you start your day with prayer, I'm definitely telling you, you will not meet the wrong person in your life.
Wow.
That makes the difference, and that prayer is so important that another compliment I got from another non-Christian friend. And she said, Aneesh, you have a direct connection with God. And I said, no, it's just the prayer here. It's even you can do it. You just need to have your own quiet time in the morning and start. People say, okay, I prayed at the end of the day. And I said, no, yeah, that's good. But then start your day with your morning devotion, morning prayer. That makes a lot of, difference in your day-to-day decision-making thing.
Especially in your field. It is so important that you are focused and you know what is right, what is wrong. And it is so important to stick to those principles, because it's very dicey, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah. And one day, while we were shooting the least of these, there has been a crew of 200 people, and I was just thinking, what am I doing here? Yeah? Everybody is doing their work, the cameraman is doing their work, and and especially with the directors, when they sit on their directors' chairs, everybody keep coming and feeding him. So that's why probably you must have seen all the directors are over healthy guys.
True.
But that's not the point. What I'm trying to make is, I was thinking, what am I doing here, sitting? Everybody is doing their work, and I just say action and cut, But then later on, I realized that what a director do, or what I was doing, actually, I was taking a decision and saying yes or no. So when you come to that level of decision making of saying yes or no, you actually need to prepare your child from the very young age. to make him realize what is right and what is wrong.
Correct.
And of course it comes with experience, and every kid goes through challenges to take decisions that way. But we need to teach our kids, young people who are there, youths, to tell them to take the right decisions in life. And in terms of my filmmaking, where the least of these is concerned, there have been many decisions
that you have,
we have to take, and I was really not knowing what to do, but then somehow things unfolded in the right direction.
Now, talking about least of these, obviously a masterpiece. I mean, critically acclaimed all over the world, people love it. For somebody as a Christian to pursue that kind of quality, that kind of it's in par with any other Hollywood or any other film. You made it in that quality. How would you advise somebody who's pursuing something like that about aiming that high, and being excellent? What would your guidance be for somebody like that?
This challenge I faced in my initial days when I came to Hyderabad, and there are a lot of churches got in touch with me. There are a lot of Christian organizations and NGOs got in touch with me. And most of them used to say, this is a faith-based project, so the budget is not right and all that. And I used to say, you are doing a work for your Lord, who is, whose quality is far, better than anything else. So you do a quality work. True. And I believe in quality. And I say that pursue the quality, finance will follow.
Wow.
So you need to pursue a good quality work. If you say that I want to do this quality work, train yourself to go to that level. Don't come up and say that, because it's a small project, or it's a Christian project, or it is an NGO project, or it is this project. No, you think whatever you're doing, do it with quality. You have to do things with quality. Finance will automatically come. The money will follow. The finances will follow. All you need to have a very good quality product in mind, and to pursue that quality product.
Wow.
And that not only it involves the product, but it also involves to have a great quality team with you.
That's another thing I want to ask. How do you work with your team? Are they with you? Are they believe in the same things you believe? I know you already spoke about 2 testimonies of how they know what your stand is, and they stand with you. It is so important, the team, right? To actually pursue what God has put in your heart.
I'll tell you something. This is another interesting thing which I keep sharing with my associates. That when I was young, or I was working as an assistant director, and somebody used to tell me, go and join that director, my first question will be not that how he is as a good director, but my first question, how he is as a good human being.
Wow.
And I used to choose a director to work with. Is he the right guy in terms of as a human being? You need to have an empathy with the society, with the people. You need to empathize with your, colleagues, with your workers. And if you do, and if you take care of them, it makes a lot of difference. Then they are the one. The power is not in your hand. The power is the people who help you to gain that power. So there are 2 kinds of power. One is a power entrusted to you, which is like a police officer in a government. And the one, you become more powerful when you have the power of the people. That happens when you are looking them and taking care of them. That way. I remember when you mentioned about Mr. Jijo, and also most of my directors, as I said, they are very, very good human being. But one incident I remember about Mr. Jijo, he's one of the very known maestro in Kerala, who has done the first 3D film, Chota Chetan.
Yes.
My Dear Kutti Chetan. Yes. I got a chance to work with him in the serial called Bible Ki Kahaniyan. And it was Rajasthan, and it was completely dark because we were shooting at night. So when the lunchtime happens, they switch off the lights. So only 1 or 2 basic lights are there. And I was sitting there and having my lunch, sitting on that small sand this thing, and sitting. And Jijo was standing behind me. And someone asked him, "Where is Aneesh? We need to get this thing work done." And Jijo never knew I was sitting there. And he said, he's having dinner. Let him have his dinner first. Then look for him. At least give him some time to. I tell you, brother, my heart melted. That is where I felt that director is so much of taking care of me to see that I am having my dinner first and then I will get into. Though they would have called me, I would have jumped, I would have left my dinner. But I felt so that is where I learned from him. So whenever it comes to my associates, I say, no, let them have dinner. Let them take their time. If one is gone to a restroom, let them go to and take their time at the restroom, Don't knock the door saying, come fast, we need that. So we have to take care of our people. And then they are there to help you and lift you up. That's one good quality of leader has to be there. You have to empathize with your team.
Now we are in the midst of an Excel series, basically excelling wherever God has placed you. If there was a young man or a young lady who wants to look up to you and say, sir, I want to pursue excellence wherever in my field, especially in the field of film and television, what would your guidance be to them? Like, I know you spoke about pursuing quality. Yeah. You spoke about having a good team and taking care of them. Would there be something else that you would like to encourage them with?
One word which even I am learning today is discipline.
Discipline. Wow.
Discipline is one key thing. I realized after 32 years of working that it is so essential to begin with discipline. Then the other things will follow. Wow. So once you start with discipline, like that tortoise who starts walking and wins the race,
because he was consistent.
He's consistent and he was in discipline, that way. That discipline is so much essential for us, especially in today's life, when we have so many of ultra gadgets to take us out from that discipline. We have phone, we have Netflix, we have OTT platform, we have
so many
Spotify,
options.
We have music, everything, and then it takes you out from your discipline. That way. So discipline, and it's so challenging to come back to the track and say, I'm going to get up in the morning and start my day with so and so and so on. Discipline is one. The another thing which I insist on to my associates, and I say that, they come back and say, sir, it can't be done. I said, kaise nahi ho sakta hai? How cannot it be done? There is ways, and more than that, Lord is there. Pray and ask the Lord, He will show you the way. And how cannot you come back and say, how cannot this be done? It can be done. Anything on this world can be done.
There is
all you have to, you have to look for it. You have to really pursue. And one of my, my own quote, which is when somebody asked me, your greatest quality and ability, and I said, to dive in deep and get the pearls without the knowledge of swimming.
Wow.
So that is how you have to have your attitude to dive in deep and get the pearls. Even though if you're not knowing swimming, try hard. There are ways, you can go and get that pearls.
Wow. Wow. Beautifully said. And what an inspiration you've been.
And, and one more thing I would like to add with that is prayer, If you pray and ask the Lord, He will show you the way. That is one very... by default, it should be there in your DNA to pray for everything. And I'm telling you, brother, I have seen many impossible things happening, many impossible things happening, and miracles happening just because of prayer.
Wow. And where there is more darkness, the light has a chance to shine. And in your field, there is a lot of negativity, there's a lot of darkness, and you have shown, and we pray that you will continue to shine there for the Lord and you will excel. What next? What do we expect from you? I know we are excited and we do look forward to your work. What next?
Well, there have been a couple of film projects in my mind, but I'm praying, and of course, because of the COVID, it's very hard now to get that kind of finances.
Yes.
But again, I said, have patience, perseverance, and persistence is equal to God's timing. So if you have patience and perseverance, and keep praying, that God's timing will happen automatically. Wow. So keep praying for me. Yes. I'll definitely need prayers to take the right project, because when there is no work from last, especially film world
Yes,
and
it's
televisions have
been
been hit
down,
hard. So when there is no work from last 2.5 years or 1.5 years, uh, it is so much of temptation to take any work which is coming through.
That's right.
And then that's where that challenge and temptation happens with these OTT platform series, where things are, the languages are not used right, the things are not there properly. So it is very essential to choose the right project, that way. So keep praying,
Yes.
and I am sure within few months I'll be able to announce something good, Lord willing.
Wow. Looking forward to, and we will pray that God will guide you, because what you've done so far has been a blessing to so many people. And I believe that there is more to come from where
Yes,
that's
yes,
come
and I really thank God, and as especially mentioned about least of these, thank God for that, because all what that happened in least of these didn't happen because of the teamwork or because of me or because of anyone. Everything came according to Lord's timing, and it was the Lord who opened the doors for me, especially getting Mr. Victor Abraham as a producer, Mr. Krish Danam, who brought me introduced me with Sky Pass Entertainment. Sharman Joshi came on his own. Stephen Baldwin came on his own. Shari Rigby was, she was not our choice, but the casting director, she mentioned. Shooting happens. We were shooting in midst of Bharat Bandh on 2nd September 2015. I remember that day. And we were shooting in midst of that Bharat Bandh inside the leprosy home. And there was not a single person came and objected on us, because we wanted to wrap up that shooting. So it is, everything happened only because of God's grace. And He had that hedge of protection on us. So I really thank God for what that work is only because of God's hand in it.
What a testimony. Thank you so much for spending this time
Thank
with
you,
us.
brother.
I believe that this will be a blessing and an inspiration to many people, especially those who are pursuing this kind of line. And I believe that we as Christians, we will shine and excel where God has placed us.
And I also wanted to tell the audience that I'm available anytime.
Yes.
Especially youngsters. I have a heart for them, and I'm open anytime. Just call me, and even midnight, I will guide them through if they need any, suggestion, especially in our field.
Absolutely. Yeah, we will let them reach out to you. Thank you so much for watching this and for being part of this podcast, for listening to this. I pray that this will be a blessing to you and you will excel where God has placed you. God bless you.